What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Board Games Are For Everybody, where today we are continuing on with our Final Girl coverage. We are doing the final scenario that we have in Scenario 2. This is Into the Void, obviously based on the Alien series. Object, like the other ones, kill the alien. A little different as far as the killer goes. The killer starts as this little hatchling here, and as we progress through the scenario, it can evolve, not flip it over, it can evolve into a youngling, and then it can further evolve into an adult alien. So, like we said, obviously based on Alien, based on the Xenomorph, we have the Evomorph. We are going to be playing as Ellen because obviously, you know, Ripley, it just makes sense. Powers we get for saving people. We can lower the horror track by 1. We have 2 spaces that give us 2 time. We have a space that allows us to take a search card. We have a space that gives us a heart back. We have a space that allows us to move 1 space. Once we save 6 victims. When successfully resolving a search action card, you may choose to freely look through all of the location's unused item cards instead of the space's item deck. Interesting. Look through all of the location's unused item cards. Look through all of it. So I guess that means we're going to have to take, well, we'll see if we get to that. We'll have to get to that first. All the location's unused item cards. So those are all in the box. Surprisingly, a lot of powers that give you stuff that's not currently in the game. I'm going to have to remember that. And then for each additional victim saved, we get 1 additional time. So we'll see if we get to that point. We'll pull the other items out of the box. For the time being, though, we will leave them in there because we may not even get to that. We are currently starting off over in the bridge here. The alien, the Evomorph, is starting off in the hangar, which is also where the superloader is. The superloader is always in the hangar. However, we are only allowed to use it should we obtain the superloader keys, which just so happen to be in the storage room right now, which is right here, so not too far from us. I think we can actually, no, we can't. That's not a space. But, oh yeah, it's actually going to take quite a bit. It's going to take quite a bit for us to get to that storage room, eh? That's a bit of a pain. Although, I mean, we could, well, we'll get to that when we actually get to strategy. We'll get to that. I'm planning ahead here already, and I haven't finished explaining everything. Speaking of which, there's a lot of mechanics in this scenario. It's pretty fucking nuts. Like, we have maintenance cards. We have the evolution system, which we've kind of gone over. We have an ambush system. The terror card, the terror deck only has 8 cards in it instead of 10 to make up for this ambush deck here. So we do have a smaller terror deck, which is not good because that means that they're going to be able to find us quicker. The maintenance cards all have different spaces on the board shown by the little cog. We've got the hangar, which is where the Xenomorph and the superloader are. We have the furnace, we have the bridge, which is where we are, and we have the trash compactor. During our turn, should we have a key card, we can choose to place it onto any of the maintenance cards that we have off to the left here. And once we have the amount of key card pieces on a card, so long as we are in that room, we can use that card in order to deal some damage. And presumably all these things do damage to the alien, which we'll get to when we get to that point. The thing I'm going to see if is worth focusing on more is actually going to be using those keycard spaces for these 4 spaces on the map here. Because should we place a key card, if we're adjacent to one of the spaces for the tunnels here, if we put a key card onto that tunnel, we can now use that as a shortcut, which the alien is not allowed to take. That's pretty well it for mechanics that we're going to go over for the time being. We do have an action card I'll explain in a sec once I explain this evolution system. So basically the way the game works is that the Evomorph starts as a hatchling. It only has 4 HP. The youngling also only has 4 HP. If we fully evolve into the adults, it gains 10 HP and all HP is healed. So that's pretty crazy. Either we have to do a lot of damage quick, or we have to hope that we can deal a lot of damage once it becomes a full adult. The only way for the bloodlust to go up on the hatchling is if the hatchling itself is responsible for killing something. If something dies for any other reason, we lose a time instead, so long as the hatchling is still in play. Eventually, once the hatchling does kill something and we push the bloodlust track up and we hit this evolve space, that is when it evolves into its next form. So once the hatchling kills something on its own, then it will evolve into the youngling, and then once we get up here with the youngling, it will evolve into the adult, and the dark power will be activated. And like I said when we were going here, the hatchling has an attack power of 10. 10 damage the hatchling does. That is nuts. That's crazy. But it only has a movement of 1. So we have to be very, very sure if we want to try and attack it while it's still a hatchling. Not that I think that's going to happen. We're going to try and focus on saving people, I think, is going to be a good idea. It'll be interesting. It is an interesting mechanic. Once the hatchling evolves into the youngling, it automatically vanishes. Vanishing is a mechanic that is based on the terror deck, as well as when the hatchling evolves into a youngling. I don't know if it can vanish when it's a hatchling. I think if it's from a terror card, it still does. Hatchling, special power rules. Youngling, when hatchling evolves into a youngling and immediately vanishes. Youngling adults. Well, the Evomorph is vanished. Yeah. Well, it doesn't say that it doesn't while it's a hatchling, but I would think... Oh, hold on. Evomorph's current stage, either light green for the... Yeah, so I don't think it can as a hatchling, because the ambush cards come into effect when the... Jeez, what am I... I'm just totally zoning out here. The ambush cards come into effect when the Evomorph vanishes. And it doesn't start vanishing. Or, well, on here it only has youngling and adult, so I don't think it can vanish while it's a hatchling. We're going to play it like that. It can't... I don't think it's going to stay as a hatchling for long, but we'll see. We'll see. Geez. We already have a lot of people on escape pods, which is good. We have 3 people that can be saved right now. Granted, that's a little bit away unless we choose to put our keycard down in order to give us some shortcuts. So, vanishing, the way, since we kind of sidetracked there, the way vanishing works is that there are certain symbols on the terror cards, as well as when the hatchling evolves into the youngling, that allow it to vanish. When the Evomorph vanishes, it's removed from the board and placed on top of the terror deck, and instead of playing a terror card or activating the killer phase, you instead draw an ambush card, and depending on which phase it's at, it's going to have a different effect. The rules said that it has numbers up in the top corner somewhere that kind of show you how deadly the particular ambush that you drew is. That's not great. And that's going to allow us to talk about the action card there. I don't know why I couldn't find the words. And that is the scan card. The scan card is a special action for this scenario. Can only be resolved when the Evomorph has vanished. If we get 3 stars, which means we have to have at least 3 dice. Place the Evomorph in your space, skip the next killer phase, remove this card from the game. So you only have 3 scans. Otherwise, if you get 2 stars, you place an X in your space and you decrease the horror track by 1. If you get 1 star, you place an X in your space and lose time. If you have no stars, you increase the horror track, lose time, and your turn ends. So what the X's do is the X's allow you to... basically, it's saying you've scanned and you didn't find the Xenomorph there. So you aren't allowed to have multiple X's on the same space, I believe is what the rules said. But you can have multiple spaces that have X's on them, but you just can't have more than 1 X on the same space. Scan cards have an additional success line for when you get 3 or more successes on a horror roll. This will allow you to ambush the Xenomorph instead of the other way around. So I'm wondering if... I haven't looked at the ambush cards. I can only guess that the ambush cards allow the Xenomorph to reappear. They're going to make them reappear. Because only having 3 scan cards, if your Evomorph, don't want to get any copyright problems here, Evomorph, if the Evomorph vanishes and the only way to get it back is to scan, that would be pretty insane. So I can only guess that ambush cards cause them to reappear, but I guess we will find out. And that's pretty well it for mechanics. I think we went over everything. We went over the super loader. We went over how the Xenomorph levels up. We went over key cards, which we start with 1, by the way. We start with 1 key card. I don't know if I mentioned that. And we also have 2 key cards on the board. So should we get another key card token here, then we will either... I would guess that we would place it on the one in our inventory if it doesn't have one on it, or we would draw another key card, which key cards cannot be discarded. So we kind of trade off being able to hold items in order to have key cards. And I think that's it. I think that's everything. Oh no, I need to go over my signature action. I need my signature action. Our final girl's signature action for this scenario is ambush. Look at that. May only be played as a reaction to the killer moves when the killer moves into your space. 2 stars, 2 damage, immediately end the killer's phase. That's nice. 1 damage for 1 star. 1 damage, take a heart and increase the horror track if you get no stars. This is 6 time. 6 time is pretty brutal, but ending the killer phase could actually be pretty helpful. We're 15 minutes into the video and we've just been explaining stuff. Let's get into this. I think I've explained everything. I need to explain. We're just gonna go for it. So we're gonna go. We get all of our start cards here. What do we want to do? We're currently in the bridge. I could choose to put down a key card in order for us to be able to use this maintenance tunnel here in order to get into the mess hall. However, I want to get to storage somewhat quickly. my walk's only going to let me move 2 spaces, so maybe I should use a key card in order to unlock this maintenance tunnel, which is going to bring us to the storage. And then we could try and use a walk to save these 2. And then we can maybe use our other walk to get back into the storage. And then next turn, we could use a search in order to get that super loader key, because I think that super loader key is going to be very beneficial. The super loader allows us to add 2 damage to all of our attacks, which I think can be pretty helpful. I think that would be good. But we'd also have to get to the hangar to even be able to use it. So I think we might hold off until... I think we might hold off until the hatchling is at least not in that space, because 10 damage is a lot of damage. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to walk. We could also go up to the mess hall. What's in the mess hall? Thermal visor. Discard to ignore an ambush card and draw another. Whenever the enemy enters your space, you may discard any 2 action cards to take the available guard reaction card into your hand. That's not bad. That's not bad. But you'd have to discard 2 cards to get it, though, which is pretty crummy. So I think we're going to hold off on the key card for now. I'm wondering, once activated, place the airlock token in the hangar during the action phase. While in the hangar or an adjacent space, you may discard the airlock token to open the airlock, instantly killing everyone in the hangar. If present, the super loader is lost. If the killer dies, reveal their final health token. If they come back to life, place them at the junction. What? They can be shot out in the airlock and still come back to life? They just teleport back into the junction, I guess. If you are in the hangar when the airlock is opened, roll a die. On a 5 and 6, you manage to survive. Otherwise, you lose the game. Oh, yeah. If you kill yourself, either with the self-destruct or with the airlock, you lose. Regardless of whether you kill the Evomorph or not, you lose because you kill yourself, and self-sacrifices are not... Self-inflicted damage is apparently not a noble win, according to this game. We could try and unlock the incinerator. That could be nice. That's only 2 key cards. That's not terrible. But part of me wants to fucking blow this place up. We could get all 6. Or, sorry, all 4. We could get all 4 key cards, because there's one in the armory, which is down here, which is quite close to the... Well, that's only if we have the shortcut, though. And the alien can't use the shortcut anyway. So we could try and go down to the armory and grab that key card. And then we could also try and get these 2 key cards. And we could try and go for a self-destruct. Once activated, place the nuclear token on the start of the countdown track, 3 spaces. During the upkeep phase, move the nuclear token 1 space to the right. When the nuclear token reaches the explosion, the ship self-destructs, killing everything. If you are not on an escape space, you lose the game. What if the Evomorph is also on an escape space? Are we just going to have like an escape pod battle? That'd be pretty funny. Anyway, let's fucking get into the game here. We're sitting here just theorizing stuff. 2 successes on that first walk. That's pretty nice. So that gives us 2 spaces, and we take a time. Are we going to do it? I really want to fucking blow the ship up. I really want to blow the ship up. We're going to go 1, 2. We're going to come into the junction. I guess I should do the focuses first, right? Or at 4. I guess it doesn't really matter. We're going to do another walk. We got 1 star and a partial success, which I think we're actually going to discard the weak attack, and we'll discard the short rest in order to turn that partial into a full, so we get that 2 movement. And we're going to come down 1 and 2 into this space here. We have to take a time from the walk. We're going to take a time in order to take this key card here. So we are going to gain this key card into our inventory. We now have 2 key cards. Did that say I had to go to the hangar? Do I have to go to the hangar for that? Oh, the bridge. The bridge is where I started. That's not that bad. That's not that bad. We could also try and do the airlock, but the airlock might be a little tricky because we would have to get the Xenomorph into the airlock, whereas blowing up the ship, I really want to blow up the ship. We're going to try and blow up the ship. That's how we're going to try and do this. And then we're just going to hit our 2 focuses. We're going to try and get the horror track down. We don't want it to be too bad. Oh, shit. 2 partials. That's not good. I only have 1 card, so unfortunately we lose 2 time. Do I really want to risk? That's no good. I won't be able to sprint or... Well, shit. That's not good. I needed at least 4. I wasn't thinking. We're not going to be able to buy anything regardless. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to try and do the focus. We can hope for 2 stars, which would give us 2 time back. That's what we got to do. We didn't get it. We got no stars. We got nothing. They weren't even partials. We just got nothing. Okay, so that's our turn. We have 0 time to buy cards with, so next turn is just going to be a flop, which is unfortunate. That kind of puts a wrench in things, but that's okay. Okay, we're moving on to the hatchling. So they move towards the closest victim, just the closest victim, which is going to be this way, up here, coming out of the hangar into this little bay area here. And there is nothing for them to attack with their ridiculous 10 damage. So we are good to go. This is bad because they're going to kill one of those guys on the next turn because I fucking botched my... I botched my cards. I didn't give myself enough time to buy anything. So that sucks. And then we have to draw a tarot card. Exoskeleton. Take a black final health token from the reserve and place it on top of the on top of the Evomorph's current health token. I don't have them out. I don't have them. Oh, see if I can get my box of props here. They're in there. Okay. Try and get these. I have to try and do this and not see the bottom. Nope, that was the bottom. Let's do it this way. Now the bottom? Okay, so it now has 2 final health things. That's going to suck if it gets to its adult form. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. That's quite unfortunate. I've just got boxes everywhere now. What a mess. What a mess. This scenario is a mess. There's so many cards. This does not increase the Evomorph's health. Instead, when you must reveal the final health token, reveal both simultaneously. All right, well, it just gives it a better chance for it to... be alive when we get to the end there. So hopefully it's not the case. Hopefully that's not the case. So that's their turn. It is now my turn. My turn is over. There's no upkeep to do. No one died, but I can't do anything. So I can now buy stuff. So we're going to take all this stuff back into our hand. We're going to take the search because I do want to search. So that'll be 2. We're not going to be doing another search because it's pointless. We're going to buy the 2 sprints. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's going to be our extra 4. This is going to be our thing for the next turn. So it's now the Evomorph's turn. It moves 1 space and it attacks for 10. Attacking for 10. This poor victim is dead. And the Xenomorph, the Evomorph, the Evomorph is now evolving into a youngling, which means that it automatically vanishes. It has now vanished. And instead of drawing a terror card, we are going to be drawing an ambush card. And for the youngling, it's only a 1, and that's not bad. You've discovered shed skin. Place an X in the closest space to you without an X. That would be on the space that I am on. So we're placing an X on this space here. So he hasn't come back yet, so we need a search. There's got to be cards that bring it back, right? There's got to be cards to bring him back. Scanning, like a successful scan gets rid of the card, which is not helpful. So that could be tricky. All right. Where was that other? Oh, it's in the escape pod. That's a pain. That's a pain. I wonder if there's another key card in any of the item decks. I really want to open that shortcut, but I don't know if I can get more key cards. Where are the key cards? If you start or end your movement on a space, yeah, you spend time, yeah. Whenever you take a key card, item card, either through searching or an event, you can get them through an event. That's good. Always place a key card token on top of it, whether you use a key card by placing the token on the board or on a maintenance card, explained below. Always keep the empty key card in your inventory. You cannot discard the empty key card item. If the game instructs you to discard this card, ignore it. Once placed either on the board or on maintenance, you cannot retrieve any tokens unless the game effect instructs you to. Once placed either on the board or on a maintenance card, you cannot retrieve any tokens unless a game effect instructs you to. What's considered a game effect? It does not cost time to use a key card and place a token. What's considered a game effect? Would being on the space and spending a time be considered a game effect? I would think so. So it doesn't look like we can get more key cards outside of possibly an event. We didn't read our event. I have it flipped and everything, and I didn't read the damn event. Cluttered shafts. I think I can squeeze through while moving. You may move through an inactive maintenance shaft at the cost of 1 heart. Victims can follow you. Oh, cannot follow you if you use this method. That is beneficial. I wish I knew that. It's actually good that I know that now, because that means we can shift through here to get this key card quicker. It will cost us a health, though, unfortunately, which is not great, but such is life. Okay, so there's no upkeep. Oh no, there is an upkeep because someone died, but no one's in the space anymore because they vanished, right? So how would that work? Maybe they panic because they were in that space? We're going to do it like that. We're going to say they panic because they were in that space. So a 5, so they're going to be making their way down this way, out of the junction into this corridor. That's our upkeep. It is now our turn. We can actually do some stuff, which is great. I bought the search, right? I did buy a search. So we're going to start with a walk. Try and get into this tunnel here. 2 successes. Brilliant. I only need 1, but 2's fine. We're going to come this way. We're going to leave them there for the time being. That's probably a bad idea. I should maybe come over this way. Should I go over that way first? We have a 2. We can literally get into that space and save. We could save 4 people if we go into that. That's pretty crazy. We could use that to get a lot of time, or to put the horror track down, which would also be good. And then I can sprint back. That's probably the better idea. So we're going to do 1 movement with 2 people following us. 2 movements with 2 people following us. We are now in this escape pod. We are blasting off 4 people in this escape pod. Pretty good turn, I gotta say. I'm glad that they started in that space. We're going to gain 2 time. We're going to gain 2 time. And then we lose 1 time because of the walk. We're also going to lower the horror track. I could move back a space. It would allow us to get back with the walk. That would be nice. I could also take a free search card, which would also be nice. I don't know if I'm really going to need it. I have the search card I need for the armory, but that's provided I even get... That's provided I even get the proper... I get the proper rolls, which is not guaranteed. So I think we are going to take that search card. Okay, now that we've saved all those people, we're going to start making our way back here. We're going to use our sprint. And we got 2 partials, which kind of sucks. I'm going to discard the short rest and the weak attack to flip one of those into a success. Can I do anything else? I want to keep... Well, I could use the other sprint, I guess. We're going to discard a focus and a walk to flip the other partial into a success as well. So, discarded 4 cards. We have 2 successes. We can now, at the cost of 1 time, move up to 3 spaces. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. We're just going to leave that victim in the furnace there. We're going to search. Fuck, again, 2 partials. That sucks. I guess I'll discard the search and the focus. I need to search to get that key card. That's just kind of where we're at. So we're discarding 2 cards to turn 1 partial into a success. We are going to take that key card into our inventory. We now have 3 key cards. We just need 1 more key card here. We're going to go for the sprint. We're going to try and go for it. And we failed. That sucked. That's unfortunate. So I can move 1 space, but I take a damage. I'd basically be taking 2 damage to get into the hangar. And I don't think that's a good idea. But I'm going to take a damage anyway. That's not good. I'm about to lose 2, so I'll have 6. I could buy the long rest for 5. It would allow us to get something back. But I won't have any walks or anything. Or sprints. I won't be moving next turn. So basically we're going to buy the long rest. Or I could buy retaliate and a guard. That might also be beneficial. I don't know if I can retaliate and ambush though. I don't know if that's really considered an attack. Although I guess if the Evomorph was in my space attacking me, it would be considered an attack. We just haven't gotten there yet. Okay, I'm gonna move. No. Yes? Yes. I'm gonna move. So I take a heart in order to move that 1 space as well as 2 time. We're going to use the secret passage thanks to the event at the cost of 1 heart. We're down to 2 hearts, but we're now in the hangar. We're going to try and get this escape pod here. And that's our turn. We have 6 time to spend. We're going to buy retaliate and a guard. And then next turn we're going to do nothing, I guess. Next turn we're going to do nothing. That kind of sucks, huh? He's only doing 1 damage, which isn't terrible. I could buy a critical blow. Try and do some damage to him. Could also buy a couple distractions, try and get the horror track down. Like, I don't think he's going to kill us if he ambushes. But I can't guarantee that. So what I could do is I could buy a distraction. And I could buy a guard. And I could buy a close call to reroll. I could also buy planning, which would allow us to have more dice. Or I could buy improvise, which would give us 3s and 4s as successes. That could also be very beneficial, especially if we're going to try and get some health back at some point. I think we need to go with the retaliate and the guard, or we can go guard. And we'd have 2 left. We could buy a scan, although scan's kind of pointless because scan's kind of pointless right now because we don't even have 3 dice. We wouldn't even be able to get. We could also ambush. We could try and counteract the ambush with our own ambush. I think I'm going to go with 2 guards. And there's nothing else for 2. I could either do a guard and a retaliate, or I could do 2 guards and 2 close calls. That could be beneficial, right? I think that might be the better option. But if he does attack us and we retaliate, we could do damage. This is a tough decision. I think I have opted not to get health next turn, which is why I need these blocks. So we're going to go retaliate. We're going to go guard. This is going to be our 6. That's going to be our turn next turn. So we're not going to be doing a whole lot next turn, I don't think. We are not going to be doing a whole lot next turn. Okay, that is our turn. So we now need to do an ambush, which I'm pretty sure I'm doing correctly, right? While the Evomorph is vanished, you will ignore the killer step. Yep, yep, yep. Instead, you will draw an ambush card, follow the effects. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, nope, we're good. Number 3, increase the Bloodlust track by 1. That's not too bad. That's not terrible. 3 more, and it's going to evolve into an adult. We need to start kind of moving forward here. We unfortunately kind of wasted that stuff. I have nothing to move. We weren't going to be doing anything this turn anyway. We weren't going to be able to get any movement stuff, so I guess it doesn't really matter. So there's no upkeep. We now are moving into our turn, which we can't do anything. So we're just going to spend our time to get some stuff. We're going to take the walks for sure. We're going to take the short rest for sure. We're going to take the focuses for sure. Focus, walk, short rest. The weak attack can stay for now. How many cards do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We still have 3. We're going to sprint for 2. We're going to distraction for 3. We're going to close call for 1. That should put us at 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's our hand for next turn. We are good to go. So we're drawing for the ambush. Oh, a 2. Make a horror roll. 2 stars. Place a cross in the closest space to you without a cross. 1 star, no effect. 0 stars. Bloodlust up by 1. No stars. So the Bloodlust is going up again. That's not great. So the horror track's going up 1 here. That sucks. No one's dead. It's now our turn. We're good to go. We're going to start off with that distraction. We're going to try and get this horror track down here. We have a partial. That sucks. So, that would be a lot to get rid of. We're going to use a close call to re-roll. We re-rolled to another nothing. So that sucks. I guess I can discard. I need the short rest, and I didn't take the weak attack. That's not good. That's not good. I only have 1 sprint. I do. I need the walks. We have to discard the focuses. That's unfortunate. Like, I need the walks and stuff so we can try, and I need the short rest. And I don't want to get rid of my retaliate and my guard in case we get attacked. So I think we just have to get rid of the focuses, unfortunately, to turn this partial into a full success. So we reduce by 1 and we gain a time. So that's nice. We had to get rid of our other focuses, but at least we're still at 2 dice. That's something, right? We're going to go for the short rest. We're going to try and get our health back here. And fuck me, again, a partial. That's ridiculous. I can't end my turn. I can't end my turn. I don't have a choice here. God damn it, man. I guess we're going to get rid of the walk and the guard. These are rough rolls, man. Is this because I'm trying to blow up the ship? Is the game mad at me because I'm trying to blow up the ship? So we're getting rid of the guard and the walk. We're going to turn that partial into a success. So we lose a time, but we gain 1 health back. That's better than nothing. Okay. We're going to walk. Please give me something decent. Okay. We got A star. I can't complain about that. We lose a time. We move forward 1 space. We're taking a time in order to take this key card. We now have our 4 key cards. We need to make our way back to, what was it, the hangar? To the bridge. We need to make our way back to the bridge, which is on the opposite side of the map. Opposite side of the map. So we're going to sprint. And we got 1 star. 1 star. So we lose a time, but we get to move 2. So we're going 1, 2 into this little space here. And we're going to keep our retaliate for next turn. So we still have 3. Do we buy I have to buy the sprint, right? I need movement. I have no movement. So we're buying the sprint and we're going to buy a close call. And I guess we'll take the weak attack just for time, if anything. But it might also come in handy in order to attack, should we need to. So we got the sprint, we got a walk, short rest, distraction, close call, focus, focus, walk, guard. Okay. We haven't scanned it all yet, but we don't have 3 dice. Scanning does nothing for us. Scanning does nothing for us. All right, that's our turn. So we're drawing an ambush card. That's everything. Time to be ambushed. Let's see what's going on here. 8, that's not good. Move the Bloodlust marker up on the track to the next space with Evolve in the Special Effects column. Well, it's evolving. It is evolving into the adult alien. Now, I can only guess that this means that it's still hidden. I would think it's still hidden. However, on the next ambush, we're going to get some more deadly... I think we're actually going to start getting attacked here now. Okay, so that's that. That's that. He has a movement of 2 and an attack of 2. That's a bit of a pain. No one died this turn, so no upkeep. It's our turn. It is our turn. We are going to start our turn with our sprint. Of course, we got 2 partials. We're going to use a close call in order to re-roll one of those. Please just give me a star. It didn't. It gave us nothing. It's really putting me in really, really dumb situations right now. Either I have to discard my weak attack and my retaliate in order to move 2 spaces, which still isn't going to get me where I want to be, or I have to take a health, move 1 space, lose 2 time, and end my turn. The other option would be just to take a health and lose 2 time. Now, I have the retaliate, so if we do get attacked, we can retaliate. I just don't know if moving... I'm going to get the short rest back next turn. I guess I may as well. But it'll end our turn, right? It'll end our turn. We're still at... Well, we'll be at 4 once we lose the 2. That's fine. That's fine. We're going to take the movement, so we're going to move into the junction. We take 1 health. We take 2 time. And it ends our turn. So we're going to buy some stuff now. We're going to buy some stuff. We're going to take pretty much everything in our single deck here. 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 2, that's 7. We're going to buy a sprint because we're going to need all the movement we can get so we can get the fuck out of here after we set this bomb off. So a sprint for 2. And I think we're going to take a guard because once we do set that bomb off, we need to start discarding. Or we need to start defending. We need to start defending ourselves. so that we don't die before we get to the third turn. Okay, that's our turn. We need to draw an ambush. First ambush with the adults. Place the Evomorph in the closest space to you with an X and remove all X's. There's only one space, which was down here, so they're coming down here. This is being taken off. They're back on the board. Move towards the final girl and attack twice. Oh, right. It's supposed to have 10 health now, so I need to put more health onto it. So it's moving towards me, and it does have a movement of 2, so it's going to move into my space and attack me twice. That kind of sucks. So we're going to retaliate and probably guard against it as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 on the thing. So it's moving towards me. 1, 2. It doesn't even care about the victims right now. It's going to attack me. It is attacking me. We're going to retaliate. We may as well try and do some damage against it, right? And we got 1 star. I won't complain about that. Reduce damage from the attack by 2, which means he does 0 damage, and we deal 1 damage to them. So we're safe. Oh, but they attack twice, don't they? So we also have to use our guard in order to block that second attack, because they do 2 damage, which would kill us. And we got 1, so we get to reduce by 2, so that does no damage to us. Go us. Go us. So no one died this turn. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So it is our turn. It is our turn, and we are going to try and walk over to the bridge. 2 stars, come on. 1 star is good enough for me. That's fine. We get to move 1 space at the cost of 1 time. We're going to use our other walk. And, well, we got 2 stars that time. That's not helpful. We're going to make our way into the bridge. We are now on the bridge. We are placing all of our key cards onto the self-destruct sequence. I'm pretty sure we can place more than 1, right? It said we can place more than 1. 4 spaces in order to activate the function. Yep. Okay, hold on. If you start or end, whenever you use a key card, placing a token on the board or on the maintenance card, always keep the empty key. Yeah. Once placed, yeah. It does not cost time to use a key card. I'm putting all my key cards on here. We have 4 key cards in our inventory. We've got 4 key cards in our inventory. They are going on the self-destruct. They're there. They're there. We are activating the self-destruct sequence. I need to survive for 3 turns. I don't know how well that's going to go, but we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna see how it goes. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Where are we at? Maintenance. Okay. 4 spaces highlighted. Yep. Yep. In order to activate a function, you must be on the corresponding cog space. We're on the bridge. You cannot be passing through. That corresponds to the function that you want to activate. For example, we don't need the example. It's just saying if you want to activate the incinerator, you have to be in the furnace. That makes sense. Okay. If any game effect instructs you to remove... Oh, okay, well, yeah, that's it. So we should have to be in the space. We're activating it. We're doing it. We're activating the self-destruct sequence. Once activated, place the nuclear token at the start of the countdown. Nuclear token. We're doing this. We're doing this. I'm reading the wrong thing. During the upkeep phase, move the token 1 space to the right. When it reaches the explosion, the ship self-destructs, killing everything. If you are not on an exit space, you lose the game. We can get to an exit space very easily. We need to defend ourselves from... we need to defend ourselves. We're going to start by using a short rest before we do anything else here. Try and get some health back. 2 partials. That sucks. So I have to get rid of 2 cards or our turn's going to end, which I don't want. So we're going to put our 2 focuses down. We're going to turn one of those partials into a success. So we lose a time, but we do get a health back. So that's nice. We're going to discard the weak attack for a time. We're going to try and sprint. Do I want to sprint or do I want to save that? I might want to save that so that I don't have to buy it. We don't need to move quite yet. We don't need to move yet. So we're going to save that sprint. We're not going to use the sprint. That's going to end our turn. So we have 5 time to spend. We're going to take the guard because we need to defend ourselves. It is going to possibly attack us. It goes after victims, so it's actually going to move away from us first, but it might come after us on the terror deck. Who knows? We're taking the guard for 2. We've got 3 left. Distraction's not going to do anything for us. We're not even close to having. We're not even close to having 3 dice. We're still 3 spaces away. We would need 2 distractions, which we can't get. I am going to take for that 3, however, the improvise, because having those 3s and 4s are going to be super helpful for movement, which is what we need. So short rest, walk, guard, retaliate, focus, weak attack. This is our hand for next turn. The killer is going to move towards the closest victim, which happens to be this poor victim right here. They're going to get attacked for 2 damage. Only 2 victims dead so far. That's not terrible. That's not terrible. The bloodlust goes up. He's now doing 3 damage. 3. Well, it could be a she, I guess. Did the xenomorph in the first Alien have a gender? I know there was a queen xenomorph at some point. Was that in Aliens though, or was it in Alien? I don't remember which one that was in. It's been a while since I watched those movies. It's been quite some time. Anywho, that is the killer phase. We now need to draw a terror card. Skullbuster. If the Evomorph is a hatchling, discard and draw the next terror card. It isn't. Double the attack value. Move towards the closest final girl or victim. It would be either of these ways, so I guess they'll go after this one. So that's another one dead, unfortunately. The horror track's going to go up 1 here. If a victim was killed, for each additional victim in the Evomorph space or an adjacent space, increase the horror track by 1. Luckily, there's no one beside it. The Evomorph also vanishes, so that's a thing. So the Evomorph is vanishing. So next turn, we will be drawing an ambush card instead of a terror card. Okay, we're at the upkeep. We need to get to an escape pod this turn, or we are going to die. Unfortunately, all these victims are going to die. That's going to happen, unfortunately. But we need to get there this turn. Literally this turn. So we're going to start by using our improvise and hoping for the best. Oh no! Oh no, 2 partials! Oh, that's bad. That's bad. This is literally a make or break situation. I have to increase the horror track and I lose a time, which puts us at 5. I need at least 1 star. I need at least 1 star from this roll. If I do not get a star, we're dead. Because the ship's going to explode at the end of this turn. That's not good. That's not good for us. That's not good for us. I need 1 star. How many stars are on these? It's 2, right? The 5 and the 6. So there's 6 sides each. So we have 4 out of 12, which is 1/3. So we have a 33.3% chance of success, but we only need 1 star. We only need 1 star. So, man, this is tense. This is tense. We're going for it. If we get a star, we can move 2 spaces. And it's... Oh, we got it! We got the star. Oh my god. Oh, geez. Okay, so we are moving through the vent. Thanks to our event at the cost of 1 heart. Our second movement is over to here, and we're taking this guy with us. So we just saved both of these ones too. So we gained that heart we just lost back. We also get to move 1 space, which I don't want to do. And we have to flip over Ellen's card, which we're not going to be using, but that's okay. When successfully resolving a search action card, you may choose to freely look through all the location's unused item cards instead of the space's items. Well, that's our turn. That's our turn. We have guard left. If it happens to attack us, provided it's not more than once. Yeah. We might have won. We might have won. We have to draw the ambush, though. We have to draw the ambush. And it is a 1. Gain 2 time. Literally just gain 2 time. That's it. I also didn't buy anything. That's gain 2 time. How can I gain time afterwards? I guess it would have gone up after. So hold on. So I would have had 5. So I would have bought guard, I guess. And close calls, I guess. We would have had 1 left. And then we would have been back to 6. Gain 2 time. Okay. That's that. We're in the upkeep phase. 1 to the left. During the upkeep phase, the ship's blowing up. The ship self-destructed. And we're in an escape pod. We did it. Success. We did it. The Xenomorph, I guess it's just, it's dead and still invisible. Do you think when it dies, it comes back to life? Or not back to life. Not back to life. When it, what did I want to say? Do you think when it dies, it just reappears? Or do you think it stays invisible? It's just, well, I guess it exploded, so it may not even matter. Imagine just invisible alien chunks flying through space. You just get hit by an invisible alien chunk. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about its final health, so we did it. We won. We won. Go us. Did it have extra health, though? That one that we brought in, that extra one, had no health. And the original one had 3 health. Dang. That would have sucked. Had we shot him out in the airlock, he would have gotten 3 extra health. That would have been rough. Okay, let's see what our weapon is. I was going to say, it's got to be a flamethrower. Ellen's flamethrower. I've named it Hellbringer. 0 to 1 spaces, 3 additional damage. No, not 3 additional damage. Items are just the item damage. It's not an increase. All damage may be distributed as you wish to enemies in the space that is attacked. Only 2 uses, though, before you have to discard it. So that is Ellen's flamethrower. This was a pretty cool scenario. There are so many different ways you can win. Oh my god. This is a good scenario. I really like this one. But the question is, what's my favorite scenario from Series 2? I don't really know, honestly. This one was good. I'm kind of glad I saved this for last. There's just all tense moments. I mean, we pretty much had our plan from the beginning of the scenario. We, as soon as I realized that I could blow ships up, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna blow. I'm blowing this ship up. No doubt in my mind. That's our plan of attack. I can't get this stupid card closed. There we go. Definitely, that's our plan of attack, and it worked. We did it. That's pretty cool. But like sending it out the airlock is great. The Crusher and the Incinerator for extra damage is pretty great. The key cards in general are a really cool mechanic. So many different things you can do with them, either using the special abilities in the different rooms or using them to access the vents. Having that vent access was definitely helpful, because if we didn't have that vent access at the cost of a heart, we definitely wouldn't have made it off. We definitely wouldn't have made it off, for sure. for sure. Or just straight up killing it is also an option. So there's at least 3 ways that you can take out the Evomorph. Not to mention the fact that you can kill it when it's in its hatchling phase. If you have enough of a plan going forward for that, you can kill it in the youngling phase. If you have a plan going for that, it does a lot less damage in the youngling phase, so that could be a good time to go after it. But definitely in the hatchling, I feel like killing it in the hatchling stage is a challenge. I feel like that's a challenge unless you were to retaliate or guard with really good rolls in order to negate the entirety of the 10 damage. I think killing it as a hatchling would actually be quite intimidating. But yeah, that's Into the Void. This is the final scenario we had to do for Series 2. This was a lot of fun. I really liked this one. Definitely in my top. It's probably definitely in my top for the scenarios even from Series 1. Definitely in the top. I really liked this one. I really liked Madness in the Dark was good. I really liked Knock on the Door was good. I mean, pretty much all the ones from this scenario were good. The Organism, Panic at Station 2891, really good. The weakest one, honestly, was Once Upon a Full Moon, was the Big Bad Wolf one, was the weakest one, but even that one was pretty interesting. So I think this was a good finale. I think this was a good finale for the Series 2 stuff. We do still have to do the vignette, and we do still have a couple Series 1 scenarios that we have to do, as well as the Series 1 vignette. So we will be getting to those, but I think this was a good cap on Series 2. This was a really good, really tense scenario. I liked it. It was good. But now I'm just repeating myself, so we're going to wrap this up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you have played Final Girl Series 1 or 2 or the Into the Void scenario, let me know what you think of it down below. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know why. If watching this has made you want to try the game for yourself, let me know that down below as well. It's always interesting to see what kind of games people end up checking out based on the games we take a look at on the channel here. If you're over on Instagram, you can follow us at Board Games Are For Everybody. Over on Instagram, we just post photos of games that we're playing, as well as games that we pick up. Just come have a good time, talk about games, look at some photos. If you're over on Board Game Arena, you can send me a friend request at Games Are For Everybody over on Board Game Arena. Maybe we'll play some games sometime. But that's it for this video, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully I will see you all next time. Until then, just remember the board games are for everybody, and until then, peace.